Almost 2 years ago, when I was collecting furniture for my new home, I bought a set of bedside tables on Facebook Marketplace and collected them in a car park in Lerwick. I kind of had them in the back of my mind as a future project, but they sat at the side of my bed until this became a building site last year, and then they've just been in storage since. When my mum came up to help paint my bedroom, she scuff sanded them as a way to try and get me to finish the project. So here we are now, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to refinish this. And I'm going to attempt for the first time to use gel stain instead of paint to restain a piece and not just cover it up. I really want these to match the dark red tones of my room, but I want a wooden colour and I don't want this yellow pine. Pine is a lovely wood and these are really solidly made, and I'm very happy that I picked them up at such a good price, but it is very yellow wood and it likes to discolour in the sun. I found that every time I sanded it back to that white pine, within a few days it would kind of seep enough resin to become a bit yellowy. So I was trying to avoid yellow tones and try and dampen that down with something a bit darker, a bit more nutty, and something that would match the dark red tones of my bedroom. Honestly, there weren't that many nooks and crannies on these cabinets, but I did have to go a long time with my hand sanding block and my foam attachment for my orbital sander so as not to wreck the kind of raised pattern on this cabinet. This one's better. Squishier. Much squishier. I would totally recommend, if you don't have one already, get yourself a foam attachment for your orbital sander. It'll help sand intricate details without breaking them and without sanding them down to hard flat edges. It's just such a win and they're so cheap. I also attached the feet of this cabinet to my drills so that I could sand them much faster. As you can see, this took me seconds compared to what it would have if I'd tried by hand. You basically have to turn the screw around and make sure it's wedged into the foot really, really strongly, and then you can basically attach it to your drill like a drill bit. Make sure you keep a good firm grip on the sandpaper and keep it tight around the feet or they'll just slide off and your sandpaper will end up in the sea. Then when I was done, I gave it yet another sand just to give myself the best chance at really good stain, adhesion and grip because I didn't want it to be patchy. Then the final step before stain was a wipe down with some white spirit and a lint-free cloth to get all the dust off every surface. I did a lot of research ahead of putting stain on for the first time, and I found that a lot of people had success with a pre-stain conditioner. These are quite hard to find in the UK, so I used a Dixie Belle pre-stain conditioner and also a Dixie Belle stain. You wipe the pre-stain conditioner onto the wood and then wipe it back off after several minutes, and then you have to stain the wood within about an hour or so of putting the pre-stain on. You guys actually helped me pick out the gel stain colour I used for this piece, which is a Dixie Belle stain in chestnut. This is an oil-based gel stain, which I was a bit scared to use because I've never used this before, and it's very puddingy in its texture. To start with, I just wiped it on with a lint-free cloth, left it for a few minutes, and then wiped it back off, but I quickly realised that I was looking for a much deeper colour, so I ended up using an old paintbrush to kind of paint it on, and then leave it for a little bit longer just to deepen the colour slightly. Obviously this is an oil-based product, so it is a little bit trickier to use than a water-based. It gets everywhere, it's very sticky, and you've got to be wearing clothes you don't care about, and you've got to have lots of lint-free cloths at your disposal, because after you wipe off one coat of this stain with one of them, it's already ruined. So just beware of that. This is some of the photos I took and I was like, oh my god, I hate this, it looks so bad, because it turned out patchier than I wanted despite all my sanding and my pre-stain conditioner. But I wasn't going to be beaten down by this gel stain because it's something I've always wanted to try, so I just continued to stain the feet and also restain the top to see if I could darken up the colour, and I was pleased that it did turn out fairly chestnutty and a lot warmer than my original pine, which is what I was after. I left that to gas off for about 6 days to make sure the oil-based stain was fully dry before going in with a coat of water-based polyurethane. I would have gone in with a coat of oil-based, but I just couldn't find this, and it's such a difficult thing to find in the UK. After that, I reattached the feet to the piece with the help of a friend, and then I picked out some beautiful new handles. I've actually had these in my back pocket for a long time, waiting for the right project. These came from the same shop where I got the tiles for my mantelpiece, which was the project I did in last week's video. As you can see here, the color of my bedroom walls, as you know if you've watched my previous video, is a very deep red. So I wanted these cabinets to have like a deep brown color so that they would look in keeping rather than bright white pine. The bedroom itself is totally a work in progress still. I'm waiting on new bedding and also for some lovely bedside lights to be installed. But for now, I'll show you what this warm bedside light looks like next to the stain. I think it creates a really nice cozy vibe, and when there's lights on both sides it should look far more even, but I do like the colour of the stain even next to the lighter floor. I think it matches with the tones in the red really nicely, but let me know, what do you think? As always, thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more of my DIYs, you can subscribe to the channel below. We have a huge kitchen renovation currently being filmed and that will be up in the next few months, so stay tuned for that. All of the products I used in this video will be linked in the description below, and you can leave a like or a comment if you want any more information about this DIY. But for now, I'll see you in the next video.